Welcome to Atlanta and round 4 of the Pasky's Cardiac Cup Series. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett, here for ESPN. Once again, I know it's been a hot minute since I've been in the booth with you guys, but I am back. And what a race we have in store for you tonight after we came to Pasky's. I mean, obviously that race wasn't broadcasted, my bad. Therefore, the man driving the 89 machine, can he repeat that feat tonight here at HOTlanta? We will find out. In the meantime, while you're watching the race, do not forget to check out our sponsors, iRacing, iFlag. An awesome bit of kit for your rig. It shows you all the flags you need to know whilst you're out there. And don't forget, whilst you're on iRacingIFlag.com, make sure you put in the promo code eSport2019. Get yourself 15% off of your very own iFlag. So why not visit iRacingIFlag.com today and get one of your own. But right now we are set to go qualifying here. And people are already in qualifying here as the music stops right on cue. And we've got some times in already. Let's go to Johnny Antonucci, I believe, who's just coming into pit road there. So let's bring up the qualifying order as it stands right now. And Mark Jenkins currently sitting on the pole right now. Let's go to Mark. We've got Adam Chapman, our very own Adam Chapman, out on track right now. Oh, brushes the wall on pit exit. Wants to get it wound down before the start of his qualifying run. Get it back into pit road and get back out there again with a fresh car once again. He has done. He's actually gone back into the garage. Meanwhile, James McDavid on his return to the series. He is out there on track right now. Rocking a nice little split scheme there, orange and blue. As this qualifying run comes to an end, we're going to focus in on Brandon Stokes, who's making his first appearance this season. I believe. See what he can put down. Mark Jenkins currently on the pole. Kevin Paskowicz in second in the artillery number 7. Jordan Barry currently sitting third. Nate Siefka is in fourth. Johnny Antonucci rounds out your top 5. Bob Lacavara in 6th place. Ty Harris in 7th. James McDavid in 8th. We've just seen him. And Hoop Baker, the last person to put a time down, in 9th. But here comes Brandon Stokes. I'm only good enough for P10, but that was only his first lap. Let's see what he can put down on the second one. The second laps are usually quite a lot faster than the first. I'll give you the specs on what the race will be like here tonight. 163 laps set to go off here at Atlanta. And our track very synonymous for its tyre wear, and Brandon Stokes crosses. Is good enough for 5th place, so displaces Johnny Antonucci out of the top 5. Let's go to Adam Chapman, who's finally got it going here. He crosses the line. 2nd place, great qualifying run there for Chapman. Rob Jenkins, winner from last week, he is out on track right now. So out of Jenkins now. What is he going to put down here? He already, well, looks like he had an impressive outlap, but he crosses the line to complete his first time lap. That's good enough for P12 right now. We will see his second lap right now. We've got a few more drivers out on track. Stephen Parks and Charlie Woods just put their times down. Ron Holyfield and Ron Holyfield just put a lap down as well. Rick Christensen, Robert Dudley, Michael Atkins Jr. and John Woodruff yet to put a time down as it stands right now. We've got 19 drivers set to take the green here at Atlanta. As Rob Jenkins crosses the line now, where is this going to put him? Only P9 as Stephen Parks jumps up to P3. It's a great run for him. And Ron Holyfield can only manage P11. Now, will we see times from Robert Dudley, Michael Atkins Jr., any of those guys? At any point. Not sure, but Mark Jenkins still sitting on that backstretch. Not sure what's going on there for the man in the 33. The man is currently sitting on the pole. Let's take a look. Conditions right now, as we have an air temperature of 70 degrees. That leaves us with a track temperature of 93 degrees Fahrenheit. Nice and sunny out there today, as you'd expect for Atlanta this time of year. So, 163 laps. I've been given a bit of a lowdown on what the tyre and fuel is going to be like here at Atlanta, and you can get there on fuel, but the tyres, as expected, are going to be a bit of a problem here for the drivers tonight. And again, you can kind of expect that for Atlanta. That's just how it is around there. And have we got enough time? Yes, we have enough time. Let's go and go ahead and speak to one of our drivers. We're going to speak to league owner, Mr. Kevin Pasky, if I can grab him there. I'm going to drag him up to the booth right here. Kevin Pasky, Sam up in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Hey, what's up?
63 laps. You're currently sitting P4 on the grid there. It's a good starting slot for yourself. What are you expecting from tonight's race? I know it's going to be tough on the tyres.
Man, I have no clue. I have no idea. It's, you know, the cars are a lot of fun around each other for a couple of laps, and then it really tightens up. You tighten up behind somebody. So it's going to be hard to say. I think restarts are definitely going to be wild and crazy. And then, you know, a lap or two after that, I think it's going to settle in, or you're going to have guys making mistakes and causing parking lots. So we'll see. But I think overall it should be fairly fun.
Okay, Kevin Pasky. Well, starting P4 on the grid. Good luck for the race, and hopefully we'll be... There goes Kevin Pasky. We are going to step away for a second. I seem to have a technical issue. We'll be right back in just a second. And we are right back. We are back right here at Atlanta. Sorry about the stepping away there. We had a bit of a technical glitch there with ATVO, but we are back up and running nevertheless. So let's go on to the grid there as Mark Jenkins and Adam Chapman start from your front row here. And Mark Jenkins with a pole time of 30.053. Row 2 will be Stephen Parks and Kevin Pasky. Row 3 will be Jordan Barry and Nate Siefka. Row 4 being Brandon Stokes and Johnny Antonucci. And row 5 will be Rob Jenkins and Charlie Woods. Row 6 will consist of Ron Holyfield and Bob Lacavara. Row 7 will be Tyree Harris and James McDavid. Row 8 will be Hoot Baker and Michael Atkins Jr. Row 9 will be Robert Dudley, Rick Christensen and Robert Dudley. And starting shotgun on the field, making it a field of 19 drivers here at Atlanta. will be John Woodruff. Everything all sorted, ready to go. But let's go and focus on the race here, shall we? We are 163 laps away from seeing who can bring home the checkered flag here. Won't be Jeff Hollingsworth, he's not here tonight, so we are going to have a different winner here tonight. Unless Rob Jenkins can make his way to the front and actually pull a win out of the bag here. I have a bit of a lagging issue. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, out of turn 3 and 4 they come. We are about to get this underway here at Atlanta. You see Kevin Paskwich ready to go. And we're all ready to go as the green flag is out and we are racing here at Atlanta. And Mark Jenkins already out to a lead there as here comes Stephen Parks to the inside there. Kevin Paskwich going to move up to third. Adam Chapman getting shuffled out there on the high side. But not what he wanted to see at this start of the race as here comes the 26th of Jordan Barry making his way to the inside as well. Here comes Brandon Stokes as well. He's making his way forward. Expected a bit of pack racing here for the first few laps as Kevin Paskwich already mentioned a few people going across the grass there at the start of this thing. Very interesting start there, a bit of a breakaway already. You see the Folgers car of Rob Jenkins there, just ahead of the 61 of Charlie Woods. And who's going to take the advantage here? Mark Jenkins at the front though, still leading as Kevin Paskwich challenging for second place. Adam Chapman has found his way back up there. He's up to third now. Remember, we have 163 laps of this already, and we're already on lap 2 of 163. And we've got some 3 wide action back there. That's Brandon Stokes, Nate Siefka, and on the outside is Jordan Barry. And they get it figured out. Nate Siefka going to win that little battle through the middle. Jordan Barry going to fall back, but here comes Brandon Stokes out to the inside of Siefka. Adam Chapman falling back into that 4th slot. He's got Stephen Parker who's outside. Kevin Paskowicz is up to second. Finally won that little dice between himself and Chapman, and he's going to challenge for the lead as well now. So as I'm trying to get things fixed, as that should help it, as we are on lap 5 now, trying to get this figured out here and get things underway here as people shuffling for position. Mark Jenkins doing very well to hold on to the lead, I will say, as Adam Chapman now going to fight to the inside again of Kevin Paskwich. Brandon Stokes right there too. Let's go a bit further back in the field. We heard a bit of a hit on the wall there from somebody. Not sure who it was. We're focused on Charlie Woods right now, and it wasn't him. Ty Harris is back there too. He's got Michael Atkins Jr. right behind him in the cause number 48. And we've got a couple trouble. Take another look and see what happened. Gone into it by the looks of things with Bob Lacavara. Yes, it was. Falling away. Christensen is really falling away. But back at the front, Mark Jenkins starting to check out now as the tyre wear is starting to become a factor here. So Jenkins your leader, Pasky in second, Adam Chapman is your man in third. And look at the battle for fourth here. Brandon Stokes and Nate Siefka side by side as they come across the line. Down towards turn one, side by side still. And looks like Brandon Stokes might win the battle on the outside, and he does. Takes away that fourth place back from Nate for a short period. Stephen Parks there just sitting back in P6 there, but he can't sit back for too long. Jordan Barry, Rob Jenkins, Ron Holyfield and Charlie Woods are right there. That is the battle for the remaining spots in the top 10 actually. And it looks like Stephen Parks getting shuffled out here. Here comes Mike Atkins Jr. He's going to slide to the inside and take away the top 10 spot from Stephen Parks, who seems to be falling backwards now. Then again, you want to try and save your tyres at this point in the race. Back at the front though, Adam Chapman has taken away second place from Kevin Pasky. Lots of rubbing, lots of racing, and that's what you expect with these kind of cars. You've got side-by-side action here between Mike Atkins Jr. and Charlie Woods. Mike Atkins Jr. is on the move here. Started in the back couple of rows of the field, now has moved his way up to P10 now. Inside the top 10 is the man in the 48. And I will say this, it's strange seeing a number 48 on a Ford. I will say that. Mark Jenkins has checked out, is 1.1 seconds ahead of Adam Chapman, who's starting to gap. Now Brandon Stokes, who's challenging for second place here. Is he going to get... Is Pasky now dropping down to fourth, and Nate Siefka is right there too. So Pasky's going to file in behind Stokes there. As it looks like Mike Atkins Jr. and Rob Jenkins actually looking for his next victim. That is going to be Ron Holyfield. To the inside he goes, and up to P7 goes Rob Jenkins. Now can he have a stab at Jordan Barry? Barry not going to make it easy for him as Nate Siefka now moves up to P4 past Kevin Pasky. I wonder if Pasky is just sitting back and saving his tyres at this point. We spoke to him just a minute ago. He said tyres will be a problem here once they wear off after the pack racing period. But he's back down on P5. Jordan Barry holding on to P6. Back further in the pack, we're going to Ty Harris now. He's in a battle, actually, with Stephen Park. He's falling back to P11 under attack by Ty Harris and Hoot Baker now. See Hoot Baker there in the Virginia Tech colours. Number 82, James McDavid just a bit further back there in P14. Johnny Antonucci there in P15. We had two non-starters here, Robert Dudley and John Woodruff, not taking the green in this race, but that makes it a field of 17 here. And look at the battle again between Brandon Stokes and Nate Siefka side by side as they cross the line. And Pasky under pressure from Barry now. Rob Jenkins right there as well. And we're going to ride on board with Pasky now as he's circulating around the track. Pasky still fighting with Jordan Barry there. Rob Jenkins actually putting a move on Jordan Barry. See it from the back there. And Rob Jenkins falling backwards, not sure what's going on there. Take a look and see what happened to Jenkins as he fell backwards a bit there. We'll take a look. He was side by side with Jordan Barry. And oh, that's what happened. Got a bit sideways after a bit of contact with Barry. Had to get out of it and just fell, just lost all the momentum that he had there. And now we go back live. He's still there right behind Charlie Woods though. Not letting them get away. Brandon Stokes and Nate Siefke still battling it out though for third place. Looks like they're starting to reel in Adam Chapman now. Chapman looking like he's struggling there, the man in the 83. Those tyres really starting to wear off as Kevin Pasky having to chase it up the track slightly there. Few problems there for the man in the 7. He's now got Ron Holyfield on his rear fender. And we're already on lap 22 of 163 here. There's Ron Holyfield side by side with Pasky, and he's going to get that position away from the 7. Holyfield now up to P5, and he's going to... Atkins Jr. going to try and slide it in there to the inside of the 1. The bottom line probably not the most favourable line around here. And Holyfield proving that almost contact between the 48 and the 1. That's that Pasky back in there. He's going to move to the outside of Atkins Jr. Atkins Jr. going to get the stronger runner, is he? Give that position to Pasky as they cross the line. But Atkins Jr. going to have a much stronger run going into turn 1 there. As well, 1 down the track. That's Nate Siefke. What a save by Siefke. But we've got 1 down the side of the track. That is Rob Jenkins. And a caution will fly. Well, it looks like Charlie Woods has had a few problems as well. Let's take another look there. They're into the wall hard. Rob Jenkins followed him down there. Charlie Woods came back up on the track. Not sure why he felt the need to do that, but he did anyway. Charlie Woods. But let's go back and look at Nate Siefke's amazing save there. Of Brandon Stokes. Hits the wall. Puts him a bit sideways. Sideways again. And you saw Woods and Jenkins get it all wrong behind them. As we're under our first caution of the night here on lap 25 of 163. Everybody's going to bring it down pit road now. So let's go to this camera, I believe. And let's bring up our pit stops, shall we? So we can get a good idea of where everybody is right now. And everybody has brought it down pit road. Actually, not everybody's brought it down pit road. There's one staying out. And that will be Charlie Woods, I believe. I'll have confirmation of that in a minute, as it looks like Ty Harris missed his pit stall as Mark Jenkins and Adam Chapman almost side by side as they come out of pit road. Michael Atkins Jr. moving up to 4th after the pit stops. So, big one for him. Kevin Pasky in his pit stall for a very, very long time here. As is Nate Siefka. Rob Jenkins, you can understand why he's been in this pit road a while after hitting the wall. So, the state of things right now, Ty Harris is your leader. It looks like he went straight through pit road. Let's take another look and see what happened to him. Go back a bit further. Yeah, missed his pit stall, went straight on, decided to go back out again. Now finds himself in pit road. And we are going to reach out to the man in the number 2, Mr. Nate Siefka. We'll find out how he managed to save that, because that was an amazing save by the man in the 2. And we are going to drag him up here right now. Nate Siefka, Sam in the booth, you got me, sir?
Yes, sir, I do.
What a save from yourself. How the hell did you manage that?
Well, Sam, all I got to say is I'm a god. That's all. I mean, I'm not actually a god. I'm a saving god, but you know, it's pretty cool to save a car like that. You know, I was pretty much wrecked, and I was hoping I'd get a caution. And the caution wasn't even for me, so I'll take it. It's a free caution for me. You know, just went ahead and fixed all the options I could take.
Yeah, it was basically Charlie Woods and Rob Jenkins doing exactly the same thing you did out of turn 2, just swiping the wall and putting themselves sideways. But unlucky for them, they didn't save it like you did. Just give us your thoughts on the race so far. I know you were having a bit of a battle there with Brandon Stokes. Are the tyres as bad as people say when after a certain amount of laps?
I was pretty conserving pretty hard on the tires, so plus I had Brandon in front of me, which is washing the front, which was making the car pretty neutral across both ends of the track and both ends of the car too. So it's gonna be interesting to see if I get clean air, how it handled properly, but it seemed pretty good behind Brandon. Yeah, Brandon just kind of threw me off too there, so that's why I hit the wall. It wasn't due to I got tight, I just got thrown off my rhythm. So it'll be interesting to see how this racing on the free start goes. You know, it's pretty hectic. You can move forward pretty quickly, but it'll be interesting to see how if I get clean air, how I do. Because Brandon was starting to hold me up a little bit. I think I had the pace to get to second. I don't think I could have caught Mark that run, but you know, the pace is there, especially for I think a couple of these front runners.
Okay, Nate. Well, the lights are off on the pace car. We are going to let you go. Good luck for the rest of the race, and hopefully we'll be speaking to you in victory lane.
Thank you.
So that was our man that put on the save of the night so far. That was Mr. Nate Siefka. As we're about to go green again, Mark Jenkins is the man in front right now. So let's focus in on him as we are coming out of turn 4. Pace car makes the hard left turn, and we are back on the green once again here at Atlanta. And already Jordan Barry, now Michael Atkins Jr. moving on to second on the ring. Getting a big jump on Adam Chapman. Stephen Park's going to try and do the same thing as well. He moved up through the field, through the pits. 5, where he was at the start of this thing. Going to move to the inside of Chapman here. Stokes is going to try and move down to the bottom of the track as well. And try and get position. Ron Holyfield right there too, James. But David is back up there as well. He's in the top 10. Good. Christensen, who was involved in an early incident with Bob Lacavara, up in the top 10 regardless, as we're 3 wide now. Nate Siefka determined to make his way back for the field as Christensen and David going to fight it out. Here comes Pasky to the inside now. He's going to make hay while the sun shines. As they come across the line to complete another lap, we are on lap 31 of 163 here at HOTlanta. Oh, bit of an apron touch there from Nate Siefka. Doesn't bother him at any point, actually, any single way whatsoever. Mark Jenkins, though, under a bit of pressure now, as Michael Atkins Jr. going to fight to the outside. Adam Chapman to the inside, right behind him. And they don't want to battle too much. They do not want to let him get away, just like they did on the last run. Mark Jenkins having a huge lead when the caution came out a few laps ago. Out of turn 2 they come. Mark Jenkins starting to get a bit of an advantage there. Again, as Adam Chapman fighting with Michael Atkins Jr. for that second spot. Gets it away, and now here comes Brandon Stokes to the inside. Almost contact between the 21 and the 48, but no harm, no foul. They keep on racing. And Stephen Park's under pressure from Nate Siefka, who's made his way back up for the field as well. Siefka to the inside of the 3. And Siefka back up to the top 5, where he was before the caution came out. And now look at Adam Chapman going to put a move on Mark Jenkins now to the inside of the 33. Goes the man in the 83. And we're going to have our first new leader of the night, are we? Yes, we are. Adam Chapman. Give that lap to the man in the 83. And is he going to get the clear this time round? We do not know as he gets a wheel on the apron. Very unorthodox way of racing there, but sometimes an apron can be deaf, sometimes it can't be. You never know in these kinds of things. Oh, Michael Atkins Jr. in trouble! That's shunted James McDavid down the track, and James McDavid going to come back up. That's going to bring out caution number 2. No, it's not. As James McDavid does the rightful thing and stays on the grass. Fantastic bit of awareness there by James McDavid. Let's take a little look at that. To James McDavid there, he's going to see Michael Atkins Jr. Oh, looks like a bit of contact between Atkins Jr. and Pasky. He came down into McDavid. McDavid just about managed to get it on the grass there to prevent bringing out another caution, but that could have been so much worse for the man in the 92. But back at the front now, Mark Jenkins, as we do have a caution this time. And it's Jordan Barry this time that's in trouble. Oh, it's not Jordan Barry. Who was that? Well, I don't know what brought the caution out, but it was enough. I think it was James McDavid coming back to pit road that might have been enough to bring out the caution here, but we are under caution nevertheless, as Robert Dudley finally graces us with his with an appearance here. But before the caution came out, Mark Jenkins did get the lead back away from Adam Chapman. Somebody staying out there, I believe that was Rob Jenkins. Yes, no, yes it was actually. Sorry. Try and get away around, but Rob Jenkins gonna deny him that, or not. Interesting. I apologise, we do have a bit of a glitch going on, not sure what that is. But anyway, we're going to try and sort it out anyway. We're going to be back in just a couple of minutes. While you hear a couple of words from our sponsors, iRacing, iFlag.
Green flag. Everybody.
Gonna be a wreck behind you, gonna be a wreck behind you.
So I don't know what to do.
Somebody put oil down. We're hurting the fence.
Are they flagging it? Flag, white flag. Clear. Man, this is it, check a flag.
And we are back here at Atlanta, and we are going to drag somebody into the booth with us. As one Mr. Byron Rodney's going to join us for this broadcast. Byron, a bit laid back from work, but you've managed to join us here for this broadcast anyway.
Well, it wasn't a work thing that kept me out, Sam. It was a family thing that I had to do. I had this weekend's just really tight pack. It caused me to miss the start of the race, so I'm having to use my drop week. But oh my God, looking at we're filling out the field here, joining this race. Kind of surprised to see Mark Jenkins up in the front.
Yeah, as he gets us going once again, we are back on the green here at HOTlanta, and Nate Siefka, after that little scare he had earlier in the race, back up to second place, and Adam Chapman, who's been running strong here tonight already, still running there strong in third place. Stephen Parks in fourth, and our good friend Mr. Kevin Pasky still holding on to that top 5 spot. We've got Jordan Barry coming out of pit road there. He's been sitting in pit road for a while. He's 18 laps down, only 1 lap ahead of Robert Dudley, who's 19 laps down after coming late into the race. But here comes Nate Siefka to the outside and takes the lead, gets the lead, lap led, sorry. Is he going to get the clear there?
Holds that bold move on that outside line, riding the momentum around. Looks like he might have figured a little something out, because Atlanta, being as notorious it is for scrubbing off tires.
Yeah, and we've seen that already tonight. Rob Jenkins and Charlie Woods have been victims of that already tonight, and hopefully we don't see any more of that here tonight. But we're seeing the close racing that we expect in the early laps of this thing, as Kevin Pasky getting very dangerously close to the wall there.
Yeah, it looks like he washed up just a little bit on that, coming on that corner exit. Tires might be falling off this early after the caution. I wish I could have seen earlier or get some practice in before I had to go and take care of what I had to do. But guys look like they're holding it down pretty good, showing 15 cars out there on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's your top. Throw a blanket over your top 6, then you're about half a second back to Ron Holyfield there. He's just ahead of Rick Christensen. Everybody single file from 7th on back. So everybody doing the right thing, just staying in touch with the leaders. We go back as far as Bob Lacavara. James McDavid's back there. You see Robert Dudley in front of him. He's not really a factor in this race unless we get a record amount of cautions. But look at this fight at the front. We're almost 3 wide there as we come out of turn 4. Mark Jenkins has the lead back. Sorry, Byron. I don't mean to keep cutting you off.
Oh, no. You were mentioning cautions, and I just happen to know that Atlanta tends to bleed them. 3 wide coming out of the turn there. Guys, Adam Chapman outside, just backing out of it, letting discretion be the better part of that.
Well, there was contact between Jenkins and Chapman, so that might have repercussions. You see there's a tiny bit of damage on the left-hand side of that number 83 as he files in right behind Nate Siefka now as they come down towards the line. Give that lap to Mark Jenkins. Siefka not going to let him have it that his own way here in the Days of Thunder inspired number 2.
Yeah, Adam Chapman looks like he's holding the car right up there with the leaders as long as he holds that bottom line. When he gets up there on the top and washes up, he loses ground to him.
Yeah, and don't count out Brandon Stokes. He's going to put a move on him on the inside there and take away that 3rd place. I think Adam Chapman does have more damage than he's letting on, and he's starting to feel it right now. And here comes Paskowicz to his rear fender now. So keeping an eye on this battle here, and they're still side by side for the lead here between Jenkins and Siefka. Siefka going to wash up the track though, almost hitting the wall there. Don't want to see that too often. He already had a scare from doing that on the exit of turn 2 earlier.
Yeah, getting real tight off the corner exit there. Just, I don't know if it's the arrow on these cars, and he just rides that outside line so close to the wall on exit of 4.
Absolutely, and he's fallen back to 3rd place because here comes Brandon Stokes now up to 2nd. And you're right about Adam Chapman. He's trying to hold on to that bottom line there. But you see the tyres are starting to wear off already. People are starting to gap out a bit now. And Paskowicz going to cross over Adam Chapman now down the backstretch into turn 3. And he's going to take away that 4th place away from the man in the 83. I think if there's another caution, Adam Chapman needs to bring it out and service that car a bit.
Yeah, I don't know if he still has his fast prepare available or not. And I don't, this early in the race, he might even elect to use it. Showing only working lap 49 at 163 tonight here in Atlanta.
Yeah, so we're still very early in this race. Still over 100 laps to circulate here as Adam Chapman and Paskowicz still side by side. Stephen Parks just sitting back there and watching all the action unfold in front of him as everybody behind him still single file pretty much. See Hoot Baker behind Rob Jenkins there. He's just enjoying the show. Got side by side action between Michael Atkins Jr. and Johnny Antonucci, but everything else near the back of the pack is pretty conservative right now.
Yeah, just coming into the race, watching this from the restart that we just had, I've seen everyone rooting and gouging to get all they could on the restart for the first 5 laps, and now they're just settling into tire management mode so they can, if it goes for a long green flag run, whoever manages those tires the best is going to have the best run.
Well, everybody pretty much single file now, apart from Adam Chapman and Kevin Paskowicz, is still fighting it out for that 4th spot.
Yeah, Kevin not really liking that high line, and Adam just not letting him root him down off the bottom. That's going to be a battle for a while.
Yeah. And Adam is our broadcast partner. He's also a very, very talented racer, so he's going to give Paskowicz that room that he needs. He's going to give him the respect that he deserves on the track, as everybody should be given the same respect. But Adam Chapman, not just the talent.
And it looks like we might have lost contact, microphone failure with our broadcast partner there, our broadcaster, founding member of ESPN, Mr. Sam.
I'm here.
Ah, your mic completely cut out on you there for a second.
Yay. But anyway, Adam Chapman now under pressure from Ron Holyfield. But Holyfield's starting to make a move now.
Yeah, Holyfield's showing it. He's just, he's running in the school of another driver that I don't see here tonight by the name of Jeff Hollingsworth. And he races the track, not the other drivers. And he pretty much gets his runs on a stopwatch, conserves his tires, and over a 30-lap run, you see Jeff Hollingsworth run better average of over 30 laps where guys can take off and run like a scalded dog in 10 and then fall off. And
Jeff Hollingsworth taking a well-earned vacation. So hope to see you back soon, Mr. Hollingsworth.
Keep an eye on the leaders. The first 3 just stepping it out, gapping the rest of the field. Mark Jenkins leading it out. Brandon Stokes took the 2nd place. Nate Schieffer just content to sit back there and watch him. He's going to wait and see if someone makes a mistake and slaps that wall on exit of 4.
And it can happen, and it will happen. It's already happened here tonight. I think the reason why these 3 have got away is because Paskowicz, Chapman, Holyfield, and now Christensen and Charlie Woods all battling it out there for that 4th spot. That's helping the top 3 get away. They're not getting that clean air that they need. how's that cleaner?
Throw a blanket over 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and 8th. Then there's another 2 tenths back to 9th place with Rob Jenkins. But yeah, these guys getting racy in the front 3. As long as they see too wide in your mirror, they're loving it.
Well, from 4th all the way back to P11, they're all together right now. Michael Atkins Jr. actually all the way back to 12th. Michael Atkins Jr. just bringing up the rear of that little pack there with, I believe that is Robert Dudley right behind them. So Dudley's still got the speed even though he's 19 laps down, having a few connection problems. That prevented him from starting this race, so he came onto the track late, but he's still going to circulate regardless, pick up any points he can.
Yeah, he's going to pick up points, like I said, but we do have properties in this league. 3 of them that you can take a mulligan if you raced it. Your 3 worst races are tossed out. Or like tonight, I had a family obligation, so this is one of my races that will be tossed out. Atlanta being one of my most favorite tracks to run, especially in this car. I'm really sad I missed it.
Anyway, we're still focusing on the leader here. Mark Jenkins now out to a half a second lead over Brandon Stokes, and they've both managed to put a gap on Nate Siefka. Siefka having problems here with the tyres already now. And is
he's falling in. 4th, Kevin Paskowitz, and 5th, Ron Hollyfield. Those guys are going to make they're going to be contesting it here hotly very shortly.
Well, he's going to be embroiled in that huge fight between those 8 cars behind him. So he doesn't want to get caught up in that. He needs to stay ahead of Paskowitz if he has any chance of trying to get a podium at least here. But Mark Jenkins and Brandon Stokes have just set sail right now. They're not going to be caught unless there's another caution.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if clean air on the nose of the leader in the 2nd place with that long gap between the next pack isn't the difference in them legging it out and holding the tire wear.
Yeah. And you're seeing that right now with the 33 and the 21, 1 and 2 right now. Adam Chapman has fallen back to P7 and is now under pressure from Rob Jenkins. I wonder if Chapman has burned the goodie off those tyres after fighting with Paskowitz for as long as he was.
Well, he might also be having some aero issues here. Atlanta is a hot, fast, slick racetrack with a rough surface, so it could be a combination of the tires wearing out. Plus, he's got that left front damage that I can see on the car, and it might be hurting his aero and causing him to push up in those corners.
Yeah, that contact he had between himself and Mark Jenkins really hurting him right now. As here comes Ron Holyfield to the inside of Paskowitz again. Is he going to get the move done? The high line seems to be the favourable line at the moment.
Well, the high line just carries so much momentum around there, but you're dancing a fine line once you get up by that, up there in the marbles up there by the wall. You got to kind of burp that throttle, let it breathe to get around, but you carry so much momentum. The low line is a quick way around this track, but it is so abrasive on those tires, it just kills you over a long run. Yeah,
one of 2 cookie cutter tracks that are very, actually you could say 3, because Atlanta, Las Vegas and Homestead, 3 absolute tire killers, and you've really got to watch your lines through the corners of those tracks. As here comes Rick Christensen to the inside of Ron Holyfield now.
Yeah, he's going to be getting up there to the bumper of Paskowitz. Paskowitz looking at a side-by-side race behind him. He's liking that, and he should be able to leg it out a little bit.
Yeah, and that side-by-side race behind them is between Adam Chapman and Rob Jenkins. Jenkins, remember, won last time out. And, it's Jenkins! It does! Great save there by Rob Jenkins. So Jenkins falls back to P12 now. He's got James McDavid coming up behind him, but James McDavid is 1 lap down after his incident with Michael Atkins Jr. earlier on. Didn't bring out a caution, that little spin there. So we carry on racing.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at it in replay, just watching Jenkins go around the corner. He's down on the low line, and he just washes up a little tight. Comes down across the front stretch. Let's see where the car got really loose on him.
As Michael Atkins Jr. pounds the wall! Big hit for Michael Atkins Jr. And he's going to get a penalty to boot for sliding into pit road. big incident there for the man in the 48. Let's go. Looks like he lost the back end of the car, tried to save it, and just hit the wall very hard there. He didn't even get loose, he just drifted up into the wall really hard.
Yeah, that's something I was talking about in another race on one of our ESPN broadcasts, the difference between tight and loose. That was a full example of what a tight car is. You're putting the input on the steering wheel, telling the car, hey man, let's take a left turn. And the car is looking at you going, nah, I think I'm gonna go straight. You keep saying, no, turn left. Car says, I ain't going. That's called tight. And if you have that argument in the corner, that's the result that you see. Hello, wall slap.
Yeah, and he certainly did slap the wall there. And that has put him pretty much out of this thing, as he has put it on the hauler now. So, unfortunately there for Michael Atkins Jr., his night is over. But thank goodness that didn't bring out a caution. But I'm pretty sure a lot of these drivers are absolutely crying out for a caution right now.
Yeah, also talking about a little behind the scenes on Mr. Atkins Jr., he just changed from triple screens to Oculus, so that might also have something as a learning curve comes into to effect as he's racing in VR now.
Absolutely, as the battle's going to resume here between Kevin Pasky and Adam Chapman. These guys have been around each other. These guys can't be separated tonight, but they are giving each other a lot of respect out there, and a lot of room to go with it.
Yeah, the respect being given in the first third of the race. Second third of the race, they're going to do the same thing. But when we get to the last third of this race, I don't look for anyone to give anything. It's all about take when it comes time to hit the scramble button.
Yeah, but like you always say in your broadcast, Byron, there is always that ultimate equalizer.
The caution flag.
Absolutely.
All the strategy in the world. Whether do I take 2? Do I take 4? Am I going to take fuel only? Am I going to take a half a tank of fuel? Those tenths of a second translate to valuable real estate out on the track. And guys, they run several different apps, engineering. They run, crew chiefs helping them, spotters helping them. But it doesn't matter, man. When that great equalizer, the caution flag comes out, we re-rack them, and it just levels the playing field.
Hoot Baker having a strong run tonight. He's in P8 now, just ahead of Charlie Woods and Stephen Parks. Don't just ignore that car behind Charlie Woods. That is Robert Dudley. He's trying to get whatever laps back he can.
Yeah, I would think here at Atlanta, he might be able to get all 18 back, being a lucky dog. But these guys are out there running this track. I'm showing a lot of laps out here on this stint.
Yeah, and he only came back into the sim probably about 50 laps ago. So, well, actually, he was 19 laps down, so 19 laps. But yeah, Robert Dudley is out there. He's still circulating, 19 laps down, but he's doing everything he can. Michael Atkins Jr. retiring. The other retiree that we didn't mention was Jordan Barry. Not sure what happened to him. Got caught up in some kind of incident there and has unfortunately put his car on the hauler, and he's gone for an early shower.
Yeah, Atlanta tends to do that to you if you don't get your practice time in. That's why we put up an hour-long practice server before the race. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at green flag stops and someone just looped it going in.
Yeah, and that was Adam Chapman. Let's take another look and see what happened there. Way too hot coming into pit road, and unfortunately he crossed that white line as well when he spun around. That's going to give him a penalty.
Yep, not only a penalty, but it's costing him valuable time in the pits. And that time equals, ladies and gentlemen, real estate on the track position. If you want to know what 1.5 seconds looks like on this track, just only 1.5 seconds. Look at the gap between Mark Jenkins and Brandon Stokes when you get a chance to look at that camera angle. That's how far only 1.5 seconds is.
Yeah, and we're going to focus. We're going to stay focused on Adam Chapman as Ty Harris comes in. Adam Chapman definitely getting that penalty now, as he's stationary in his pit box. Here comes Ty Harris, the third man to bring it down pit road. We do have, as Byron mentioned, green flag pit stops in effect right now, as Ty Harris here in pit road now, the man in the deuce.
Yeah, Tyrone bringing it in. That's someone I haven't seen in a while out here in the league, and I'm kind of sad that I missed this race. I haven't raced with him in a while. I enjoy racing around him.
Yep, as Nate Siefka hits his pit box. No such troubles for the man in the, again, Days of Thunder inspired number 2. As Adam Chapman finally leaves pit road, but he's 2 laps down at this point now. He needs a miracle to get back up there again.
Yeah, what he needs is what we were just talking about just a little bit ago, the great equalizer. But he doesn't need it in the middle of green flag cycles. He's Adam Chapman, I'm showing him, he went 2 laps down on that penalty. Folks, you know, you get a 15-second penalty, there's 2 laps gone at this place.
Yeah, and look at the amount of speed he's got, and with those new tyres, he's just absolutely walked by Hoot Baker. Let's not forget.
To give you an idea, you know, I'm looking at green flag stops. Guys will make a pit stop in 14 and a half seconds. But your time is also the time it takes you to get to your pit, do the stop, and get all the way out past the pit exit. And that is an average of about 38 to 40 seconds. Adam Chapman took a minute and 2. 20 seconds. Yeah, 22 seconds longer than anyone else. And when everyone's turning 30-second laps out here, 29 on fresh tires, you're looking at, yeah, he went way down.
Hoot Baker now up into the top 5 in the 82 Virginia Tech machine. Having a very impressive run right now, but as we already mentioned, green flag pit stops are in effect. Let's see how that shake up for him. And how will it shake up for the leaders? Mark Jenkins out to a 1.6 second lead over Brandon Stokes, who also has a 3.5 second lead over Rick Christensen.
Right, now we're in the middle of green flag stop, so a yellow would really screw things up right now, but these guys are legging it out. I don't know exactly what a fuel run is, how many laps they can get on a tank of Go Fast here, but some guys are short pitted and they're looking for those lap times over these guys that are going to run that tank dry.
I think I remember someone telling. Don't quote me on that though.
Oh, your mic is, it kind of shot the ghost on you again. How many laps were you saying?
30 laps.
30 laps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bob Lacavara now in the top 10 as we've got Nate Seeker, James, Kevin Paskovich. James McDavid still 1 lap down. He has not pitted yet. Let's put that into perspective. Ty Harris has pitted. He's 1 lap down. Adam Chapman, as we've already mentioned, had that penalty after the spin into pit road. He's trying to claw everything he can back right now as he's coming up on the back of Brandon Stokes.
Yeah, he's trying to get that lap back the hard way. So when this all green flag cycles out, he's going to be 1 lap down, and he's going to be fighting with the guys that have already pitted to try and get that lucky dog spot and hopefully catch another caution to bring him back around to the lead lap.
Yeah.
Atlanta being one of the worst tracks. I mean, if you're expected to take a wave around and skip your pit, say if a caution comes out at 20 laps, everyone pits, you take a wave around, those 20 lap difference, you're going to get lapped again pretty darn quick.
Yeah, Mark Jenkins has already been passed by Paskovich and Sivka, I believe. No, Sivka's about to come up on him, so the faster cars on the newer tyres are really going to be coming up on the leaders and trying to get past them as quickly as possible to get that lap back. Sivka is almost about a backstretch distance away from him now, so...
Yeah, I got my eyes on the leader, Mr. Mark Jenkins, and he's still electing to hold it out there, not bringing it down pit lane, wondering how many laps he's going to run that tank out to see. He's got to know, because his last lap was a 31.3. Nate Seeker's out there running around a second a lap faster.
Yeah, as we've got James McDavid now in pit road as well. And he's just been passed by... Adam Chapman. Adam Chapman has actually got past Mark Jenkins now. Good for Adam Chapman to claw it back the way he has so far as Ty Harris hits the wall. And Adam Chapman having to take avoiding action there as Bob Lacavara hits the wall. He's going to go down to the infield. Is he going to save it? He is. Great save by Lacavara.
That might have to be called the save of the night.
Oh no, you missed Nate's save. That was something special. Speaking of Nate Seeker, he's coming up right behind Bob Lacavara now. And he's going to take the position away from Bob Lacavara.
I just went back in replay and took a look at that save that Bob Lacavara did. That is an ultimate change the color of your fire suit moment.
Yeah. as we're focusing on Ron Holyfield, the first of the leaders to bring it down pit road now.
Well, if he was running in that lead pack that's on the same strategy of stretching out that fuel, when one comes in, look for the dominoes to start falling. I expect the rest of these guys to start coming in next lap or two.
Yeah, as there goes Nate Sivka past Ron Holyfield. So Sivka already gained one position through his pit stop as Mark Jenkins, the leader, and Brandon Stokes, 1 and 2, are both in pit road now.
Now, this is going to be interesting to see them staying out this long. How much time did they lose to those guys on the fresher tires, and how many laps is it going to take them to make it back up? So when they come back out of the pits, it's going to be interesting to see where they cycle out on timing and scoring.
Yeah, let's focus. Let's not forget that Nate Sivka will be looking for that lead, and he's going to get it. Look at him coming down the start-finish straight now. He's going to clear Jenkins and Stokes easily. Lead here in this race. Wow.
Nate Sivka just bringing it wild, but you got to understand, he's got 11 laps on those Dr. Feelgoods on all four corners of that car, more than those other guys do. So look for them to challenge right back, unless, you know, Nate Sivka, I'm going to use a term that he uses a lot in racetrack. It's time to make the money moves.
Absolutely, as I'm having a few problems.
Right now, due to cars holding it out, not coming into the pits yet, Hoot Baker staying it out, holding it, getting credit for a lap led. Rob Jenkins on his heels. Nate Sivka working his way up to the fourth spot, but the top three, Baker, Jenkins, and Parks, they all have to make their pit stops. And Hoot Baker looks like he's bringing it pit side right now, along with Rob Jenkins.
Yeah, and that leaves Stephen Parks out in the lead now.
Stephen Parks staying out, collecting that extra bonus point for leading a lap. And as soon as Stephen Parks brings it pit side, that will have cycled all of our pit stops, except for Johnny Antonucci. And that's going to place Nate Sivka back on the point.
Yeah, 14 laps on his tires though. That's going to hurt him in the long run. If he can conserve them.
Well, I'm looking at Nate Sivka's got an 8.3 second gap on the place behind him of the 7 machine of Kevin Pasky. So we'll see how long, how short that gap shortens up. 14 laps on the tires, longer than everyone else.
Yeah, and we're seeing some side-by-side action between Brandon Stokes and Mark Jenkins. Stokes is going to win that little dice there as Jenkins going to find him behind the 21. This is the first time we've actually seen Mark Jenkins on track, and Jenkins is going to want that position back.
Yeah, but Brandon Stokes is, as the race progresses on, he just gets more aggressive and aggressive. And he is one of the best at taking a 5-foot wide car and making it look 15 feet wide to the car behind him.
Yeah, as here comes Mark Jenkins now to have another stab at the back of the 21. Collective, they are... Stephen Parks still yet to bring it down pit road, as he's going to bring it down right now. That is going to hand the lead over to Nate Sivka.
Nate Sivka with the lead and a 9-second gap over the second place machine of Kevin Paskowicz. And then another second over that to Brandon Stokes and Mark Jenkins battle that's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Kevin Paskowicz...
Oh, it looked like Paskowicz got it loose got it tight up into the wall there off of turn 4, and Brandon Stokes and Mark Jenkins are going to get it by him on the inside.
Yeah. And it looks like Stokes and Jenkins... Oh, as Kevin Paskowicz brushes the wall coming out of 2. I'm not sure he's liking that batch of tyres on his car right now.
No, it looks like he was pushing it as hard as he could. He just pushed it too hard. Started racing the other cars around him instead of racing the track, as Hollingsworth would say.
Yeah, and after he took his pit stop, that drops him down to P11 and 1 lap down. Now, he didn't have a penalty, but he still managed to lose a lap out of it. But that bonus point he got was going to help him a lot, though.
Yeah, it's points are going to be big for guys that hadn't been running a lot of these series. I noticed a lot of people showed up for tonight, so points are going to start getting tight. You're going to start rooting and gouging for it even more. There is a prize on the line, for both the Truck Series and the Cup Series here in this league. So, but green flag laps, no cautions. This race is flying by. 70 laps to go.
The Nate Sivka still circulating around the track. He's got James McDavid. And let's not forget, James McDavid is returning to the series after a lengthy period away. So, no surprise that there's a bit of rust there out on track, but still holding on to a P13 spot, 2 laps down. Not doing too badly on his return.
No, not at all. I'm very impressed with the 92 machine of James McDavid. Having been gone for a while, coming back to the league and running a series in a car that we haven't been running. If you remember, we've been running Xfinity on Friday nights. We decided to switch to the Cup cars, and the guys seem to be eating it up because they're putting on a hell of a show. But I'm taking a look at our leader, Nate Sivka. Remember, we were talking about a 9-second lead at one point? That lead's been shaved down to 5.3.
Yeah, that's 10 lap old tyres versus 21 lap old tyres. And at this track, that is a huge, huge difference. With the way the tyres get eaten up on this track, it's no surprise that Brandon Stokes and Mark Jenkins have closed the gap there between themselves and the leader.
Now, I don't know if my timing and scoring is just not updated, or take a look at the number 7 machine of Kevin Pasky. There's 23 laps on this stint, where everyone else is, he pitted with Nate Sivka, it looks like. So that's why he probably got tight in that wall, just drove it too hard when he seen the guys coming.
Yeah. Adam Chapman is back on the lead lap, let's not forget.
Adam Chapman is the wheel man. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. He has got some skill behind the wheel.
Yes, he has. To go from 2 laps down to be back on the lead lap after taking a penalty under green flag pit stops, that is impressive, but the only bad thing is that he's got Nate Sivka right behind him right now.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's on the same pit strategy as Nate. So, it all depends on coming into that pit. If they pit together again, don't bring it in that hot, Adam, if you're listening.
So, Nate Sivka, the man that won the opening round at Daytona, if you remember that far back. Jeff Hollingsworth has won the other 2, so if Nate Sivka wins this, Team No Limit Racing will have won all 4 races so far this season.
Yeah, well, I damn near had a shot at knocking Team No Limit off when I came home second in that last race before the break, but I'm just upset I missed this Atlanta.
Where are we next week?
That's a good question. Let me find that one out for you here.
No Sivka now. The gap between Sivka and Brandon Stokes now 2.9 seconds, so the gap's still falling very quickly. Brandon Stokes not wasting any time to catch up to the 2, and also not wasting any time to get away from the 33. Sorry, Mark Jenkins almost a second back now. But at this point, the top 3. What?
I am not missing next week, Sam. I am sorry. You are going to be calling one hell of a race, and I'm going to be driving my heart out. Next week, the Cup cars are racing in Sonoma, and the trucks will be at Canadian Tire.
Ooh.
I got it in Sonoma.
What about Canadian Tire? I just remembered.
Canadian Tire is a fun track to race. That's a long track in the trucks.
It's one of the cheap tracks, so it's all good. So only 2. We are past halfway in this, Byron. Only 2 cautions so far. You know what? Colour me impressed in this race so far.
Well, color me impressed to look up at the timing and scoring and see 15 cars out on the lead lap and 19 that took that green flag 100 laps ago.
Yeah, 18 cars because John Woodruff didn't take the green, so. Well, technically, neither did Robert Dudley, but he came back and started running anyway.
You know what? And that shows the class of guys that are out there. Robert Dudley, he knows he has no chance of podium, getting a good points night, so to speak, in this race tonight. But he's going to hang it out there. He's going to run with the guys. Why? Number 1, he's having fun with it, and that's what this league's all about. Number 2, he's a competitive guy. he may be 17 laps down, but don't look for him to move over for you and make it easy. And number 3, he's gaining the experience for when we come back here again. Look out for the 49. Last season, he was our most improved driver.
Yeah, and it's only connection problems that's made him lose so many laps, as he's going to try and put a move on Nate Siefka to get one of his laps back at least. He's only got 13 laps on his tyres compared to Nate Siefka's 29 laps, so expect Nate Siefka to bring it down pit road very, very soon, actually. I've just noticed.
Yeah, noticing Nate, seeing that Dudley's right behind him, and Nate knows that Dudley's on pressure tires. I look for Nate to just go ahead and yield that position on the track to Dudley, and before he comes down into pit lane, so he doesn't get that phenomenon we call ARCA braking.
Well, they are teammates, so it's he's probably actually giving him a push to try and get him away from Brandon Stokes.
Well.
Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say. As looks like Robert Dudley's trying to make a liar out of me.
Well, as I take a look at the race chat rooms, Nate's in there with Kevin in the Phenomenal Evolution team room. He's not in there with Robert Dudley.
Ah.
Robert Dudley's in the NLR room with Charlie Woods and Ron Hollyfield. So looks like Nate is repping the Phenomenal Evolution colors, at least for tonight. Well, Nate is also an admin for this league, so him and Kevin are probably talking admin stuff.
And he can go where he pleases.
Yeah.
Just like we can.
It's good to be the king.
Yeah, but I'm not a league admin, I'm just a broadcaster.
Yeah, but you know what? As a broadcaster and as a team...
Oh! Brandon Stokes in trouble! Big trouble! Big collision between James McDavid and Brandon Stokes. And we're going to go back and see that. Brandon Stokes trying to get around James McDavid. And it looked like Brandon Stokes tried to move James McDavid out of the way, and it just went horribly wrong there, Byron.
Yeah, I'm coming back. I'm taking another look at it right now.
And Stokes is around on the tri-oval. Oh, his race challenge has gone from bad to worse. Luckily, does not bring out a caution here, but Brandon Stokes' night just went from bad to worse right there, Byron.
Yeah, as the caution comes out.
Yeah, and that is for Brandon Stokes' issues right there. So that's going to reset the field, and that is going to be a breath of relief there for Nate Siefka, because he
ran 34 laps out there on those tires and that tank of fuel. You know he was, that caution came out. If he would have pitted right before that caution came out, he'd have been screaming bloody murder.
Yeah. But that is going to consolidate his lead pretty much. But Mark Jenkins, on much fresher tyres, he's going to bring it in anyway, but you got to feel for Brandon Stokes having such a strong run and then having that incident with the back marker.
Yeah, Brandon Stokes, when he first came into this league, his aggression was off the flipping charts. But he's learned how to dial it back and get a little more respective. But, hey, we're getting towards the closing stages of this race. It's getting time to think about getting your track position for what we call the money stop, your strategy for that last pit stop at the end. And guys start getting racy. They don't want to give. They don't want to take. They want to, be on that podium and talk to Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett at the end of the race.
But making their pit stops now, as Nate Siefka did win the race off pit road just then over Mark Jenkins. They will have to make one more stop after this one. So this is not the money stop, folks. Once we go back to green, and hopefully we stay green, they will have to make one more pit stop before the end of this race.
I would look for guys to be bringing it in right around lap 23 to 25 to split this what's left of the race in half. And don't forget, we got 3 attempts at green-white caution, green-white checker here, or as I was saying at another league, green-white checker. We got three attempts at Green White Checker here tonight. So when you plan that last fuel stop, if you want to leg it out all the way, you better account for have enough laps left in that tank to do it.
Charlie Wood's going for that bonus point. He stayed out on 23 lap old tyres. Expecting to bring it down this time by, but he gets that bonus point.
Yeah, and that bonus point counts a long way towards the championship, because you know what? We've seen, how many leagues have we watched, Sam, where we've seen championships decided by a bonus point or a penalty point?
Well, Top Fuel was, pretty much.
Exactly.
So...
Hey, while we're under caution,
Yeah.
I want to take a minute to kind of throw this out there and let you talk and let you. Why don't you tease what's happening next week where for ESPN and Team ESPN more specifically?
Well, Team ESPN, well... excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. Team ESPN are going to Belgium next week for a little-known race called the 24 Hours of Spa. Now, our most recent race at Watkins Glen didn't exactly go to plan, but we're hoping to have a much stronger run this time round, aren't we, Byron?
Yes, we're looking for a very much stronger run. I have been, to let you know, even though I have, my job's kept me away from the team practices, I have been loading up every chance I get at home, test sessions and then looking for hosted sessions. My practice time, iRacing added a little wrinkle last year, folks. We used to run that 24-hour race, and it was daylight in the sim the whole time. We now have day-to-night transition. And why don't you tell the folks how dark that track is at night?
Well, thankfully, there's a big purple light inside the car, so it's fine, you can see. But outside of the car, it's pitch black on the back side of the track. So, yeah, you need to keep your wits about you.
Yeah, you need to understand where the apex in those turns are at all times and be situational awareness, because I understand just in practice when you guys run your practices at night, off-track incidents have gone way up in the dark.
Yeah, thankfully you get a 500. I think you get a 200 incident limit. So, oh no, it's unlimited at Spa. So,
I'll tell you what though, I am looking for. I am so looking forward to running the Team ESPN Ferrari at Spa this year.
Yep, and I've already started working on your car for this race. So, and there's going to be 2 autism awareness cars out there, because the NASCAR car is going to have an autism aware sponsor on it as well, because of a family member of Marcus's has got autism as well. But the pace car is off, and Nate Siefka is going to try again and stay out in front. But Mark Jenkins and Rob Jenkins, for that matter, are going to challenge to the outside of Ron Holyfield.
And there might be a penalty if these guys talk about it. I watched Mark Jenkins shift lanes there before they cross the start-finish line, and if I'm not mistaken, that's a violation of league rules. If they don't throw the caution, there's going to be a discussion about it at the end of the race.
Yep, so Mark Jenkins impeding the rules there, but he sits in second place regardless. His brother Rob Jenkins, meanwhile, is side by side with Ron Holyfield for that 3rd spot. And look who's sneaking up behind them.
Kevin Pasky rolling that outside lane, sitting right in there behind Rob Jenkins, looking to take that spot away from Holyfield to roll up into P4 and looking for more.
Yeah, and Pasky is no stranger to victory lane. He knows how to get it done around the track.
Look around the back. We have an accident.
We do? Oh, yeah, Bob Lacavara. And that's not going to bring out a caution. And now it's between Brandon Stokes and Bob Lacavara. Stokes looks like he's taking his anger out on people. Let's go back and see what happened. It didn't give us a clear indication as to what happened there. Yeah, but wow.
From what I can see, it looks like Stokes is just riding right on the tail, and he made the move down below the white line. And that could have been an incident of net code there, as Stokes got really low.
Well, let's take a far chase cam look and see exactly what happened. They're coming out of turn 2 there. Stokes going to take the inside line. No. Bob Lacavara definitely had some help there.
Yeah, Brandon Stokes moved it on down. He got below that white line and just shot back up the track into the back quarter of Bob Lockabar, and I know Bob's not a happy camper right now.
Yeah, I know the league administrators and the Big Purple Hall are going to be taking a very close look at that, but looking at the front of the field, look, it's the Jenkins brothers leading this race with Paskwich up to third. Sivka looks like he's struggling at this point, Byron.
Yeah, Nate looks like when he had control of the field at the green flag, and he hit the loud pedal first, tried to get out in front. But you put these two Jenkins working together, and they're going to get to the front of the field. And Paskowicz riding that close to the back of two Jenkins has got to make him really frightened because he's scared enough around one.
Yeah. Back up to the top 5 as well. Another man that's been given a reprieve here tonight after having that penalty hurt him during the last green flag pit stops. So good to see him back up to the top 5. Great rebound for the man in the 83. And he's just past Ron Holyfield. Holyfield wants that position back, but look at the two cars in front of them. That's Sivka and Paskwich really putting the Jenkins brothers under pressure right now.
Yeah, Sivka and Paskwich, both in the Phenomenal Evolution chat room. I got to feel that they're working together as teammates. They're talking right now saying, okay, what do you want to do? How do you want to make this happen? Because you know what? I've talked about it many times, man. You take a 5-foot car and make it look 15 feet wide. Well, look at that. You got two 5-foot cars, make it look 30 feet wide and hogging the whole track. Yeah,
now Sivka back up to third now. It looks like Paskwich starting to push up wide there as he's getting close to the wall coming out of 2. He's going to get the draft of his teammate there, Kevin Paskwich. Ron Holyfield still occupying that bottom line. Adam Chapman just sitting back there, just watching the action unfold in front of him, thinking, yeah, I'm saving my stuff, guys. You just race it out.
Yeah, I also think Adam Chapman's saying, you know what, I'm going to wait. He's not so much saving his stuff as he's planning an exit strategy for when the sparks begin to fly up here in front of him.
Or as our good friend Tony Trapassa would say, when the inevitable oops happens.
Yeah, someone's going to step on their junk. I can feel this one coming. But the Jenkins brothers, they're holding control of the field. They're doing it together on purpose. But when it comes to we get to the last 10 laps of this race, you will see a Jenkins take out a Jenkins to win a race.
Yeah. Brotherly love goes out of the window on the final 10 laps of the race.
Yeah, and Judy Jenkins, I want to give you a shout out. I know you're watching the broadcast, watching your sons out there racing. You're going to have to probably throw water on them to stop the fist fight if the race comes down to these two slugging it out.
Absolutely, as they're still side by side as they come out of 4. Rob Jenkins going to get the advantage here and pass on the outside. Great move there by the man in the 89, and he takes the lead. His first lap lead of the night. His second lap lead of the night, I apologise. But what a move there by Rob Jenkins there.
Yeah, and I'm also looking at the move Nate Seekers is trying to do. He's going high, going low. He's doing everything he can to put money moves on Mark Jenkins, and it's just not working out. He's trying to take that spot while simultaneously defending his spot from Ron Holyfield, who's run up into the 4th position.
Yeah, Kevin Paskwich has fallen back to P6 now. Has got a decent gap over Stephen Parks, who's back there in P7. Trying his best to hold off Hoot Baker, who's absolutely flying tonight.
Yeah, you know, and I'm also watching the 83 of Adam Chapman tonight. You know, I've seen that guy go, he's doing the Kevin Harvick. To the front, to the back, to the front again. Holding it strong in P5.
Yep.
To tell you the honest truth, Sam, any of these top 7 positions right now are actually the top 6. You can throw a blanket over them. If the race is coming down to the last 3 laps, any of the top 6 as it stands right now have a shot at win. Absolutely, and the
Jenkins brothers remind me a bit of the Bush brothers, actually. They're doing everything they can to stay out in front.
Yeah, but I remember the last interview when Kurt was trying to run down Kyle earlier this season. Kurt flat said, if I'd have caught him, I'd have wrecked him. So, brotherly love, yeah. I got a feeling that if this holds like it is right now, it's going to get interesting.
But let's not forget, they still have that green flag pit stop to make. That one last pit stop they've got to make it to the end here tonight. So they've got to have that in the back of their minds, as well as Adam Chapman getting very close to the wall there on the exit of 2. Paskwich starting to fall away now in P6.
Yeah, I think Paskwich burned up his stuff trying to race a little too hard. He's a very passionate racer. He has, the things that he races for, and he always wants to put on a good show and get a good finish for the PH Human and PH Aware charities. He's just overdrove it a little bit, and it's starting to show when we get down to the deal. But 34 laps, we know from that last run that Nate Seifert made is in the tank, so they can go 34. So that makes them right on the edge of pit window right now if they want a short pit and leg it out to the end.
Yeah, and you've got to think that's got to be in the back of their minds as well as Brandon Stokes is back in pit road. He's got more problems there in the 21. It's just all falling apart for the man in the 21.
Yeah, you push them too hard, you tear it up, and then you try to push even harder to make it up. More mistakes happen. This game isn't just skill. The racing game isn't just skill. And I'm talking, this is a sim, not a game. But I'm talking, in real life. It's not just the skill behind the wheel, but it's also mental discipline. You've got to train your mental discipline as hard as you train your muscles.
Got to hold a pretty wheel.
Yep, you got to hold a pretty wheel, as they call it.
Now Mark Jenkins making a move to the inside of his brother here. Side by side, can't quite get the speed out of the corner to try and get around him, but Seifert still right there. That loss of momentum there for Mark Jenkins. Mark Jenkins might have given the advantage to Nate Seifert, and here he comes to the inside of the 33. Gonna have the stronger run.
Seifert not only just looking to take one position, he's trying to get a twofer down on that low lane with the Jenkins brothers. Move Seifert up to P2, move Mark back to P3.
Yeah, and don't count out Ron Holyfield. He's right there too, and definitely don't count out Adam Chapman. He's there sitting comfortably in that P5 spot right now. Mark Jenkins going to try and get that spot back from Seifert as they make their way into 3.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the tires to hold it down in that low line, and he had to back off of the throttle a little more and let Nate take the high side momentum around, but he is right on his rear bumper, not giving up.
Yeah.
And Ron Holyfield and Adam Chapman have got the best seats in the house. Because if you're a student of racing out there on the track, watching these guys, watching what moves work to get around them, these two are just banking that away in the back of their brain. But 21 laps out on the stint, I would look for them to be looking for green flag stops here within the next 4 to 5 laps.
As we only have 15 cars left running in this race now. James McDavid, the most recent driver to put it behind the wall. It's now become a 5-car race now. As I've already mentioned, Pasky has fallen back, but he's crucially, he's fallen back into the clutches of Stephen Parks and Hoot Baker right now.
Right, Stephen Parks and Hoot Baker, they haven't been out running as hard as Pasky has, or the top 5. So you got to understand, you got to figure that they've got a little bit more goodie left on those tires. But these guys up in the front, man, they put a lot of effort and a lot of time and practice in the thing we call racecraft. So, and they're stringing it out. They're not really pushing it hard right now. They know they need to make one more stop. So they're not trying to jeopardize the race because you can't win it, 20 laps to go, but you sure as hell can lose it.
Absolutely. I know all about racecraft. Did you see the fight that I had on Wednesday?
Yeah, I heard about it before I went and watched it, and I laughed still just as hard.
Yeah, 3 wide for about 2 laps between me, Chris Walker, and Paul Crumroy. As Mark Jenkins and Nate Seifert, Jenkins down to the apron, trying to get the position away. Desperate. That looked like very much a desperation move there for Mark Jenkins.
Yeah, it did, and it cost him a lot of momentum. He did get down on the bottom. He just couldn't bring it back up on the track without saying a hello wall.
Yeah, he had to back out of it. He took it below the yellow line. And as league rules state, you cannot pass below that yellow line. One person already impeded that rule this season and had a win taken away because of it. So they should know that they can't do that.
Yeah, if you do inadvertently advance your position below the line because you were forced down there, that's one thing. But if you advance your position by going below the line, we're not going to throw a flag, but you do need to give that position back and go back to racing.
Yeah. As it looks like Rob Jenkins starting to get away, and Mark Jenkins into the wall! What a save! Jinx.
I'm going to take another look at that. That was some driving.
So it goes through 1 and 2 there, and turn 2 has been calamity corner all night here tonight. Brushes the wall, gets it out of shape, and somehow manages to save it, get back up on the track, and file in right behind Adam Chapman. Now that...
I tell you what, he was sawing on that wheel to hold that one back.
Yeah. You still think Lacavara's save was the best one of the night now?
No. I think, well, I'll tell you in just a second, because I'm going to look at the replay from the in-cam in his car. I want to see how much sawing he did on that wheel to keep it straight.
Yeah. Paskwich.
Oh, yeah. That's a clinic in counter steering, folks, on how to save a car with the brake pedal and counter steering. Well, brake pedal, gas pedal, and counter steering.
So, less than 30 laps to go here at Atlanta. Pit stops will be a factor within the next 3 to 4 laps. Question is, who is going to bring it down first? You've got to think it's going to be one of the leaders.
Yeah, and the one that brings it down first is going to be the one that starts the dominoes to fall. The first one to go in is going to go in and surprise everyone and look for everyone to come in on that next lap.
Now, if you're Rob Jenkins and you've got a lead like you do, about a second lead over the second place man, Nate Siepke, do you bring it down early or do you keep it out as long as you can?
You keep it out as long as you can. You see Nate take it in to the pits, you come in the next lap around.
Yeah. So, Rob Jenkins would love to win a second one here, and he's definitely in the catbird seat right now. Ron Holyfield, possibly the ESPN driver of the night tonight, because he's up in third place. Not very often you see him in the top 5, but it's usually quite spectacular when he is.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when it turns quite spectacular in the name, when the words quite spectacular and name Ron Holyfield come together, it's not for leading races, folks.
No. It usually means all 4 wheels off the ground and into the catch fence.
Yeah, or up by the blimp, as I've seen.
You saw that video, yeah?
Yes, I did.
Rick Ravon is a funny guy.
I'll tell you what, man, I haven't seen cars fly like that since we go car bowling.
I've made a habit out of it. I used to, back in 2017, that's all I used to do is like launch cars. Same for Kevin Paskwich. I used to say back in 2017, Kevin Paskwich had more air miles than a businessman. More air miles than a Boeing 737.
Yeah, cashing in his frequent flyer miles.
Yeah.
32 laps on the stint on these leaders, and they haven't flinched yet. I would have thought that Nate Siepke would have brought it in a few laps ago, but it looks like everyone's just going to see what the leader does, as the leader is busting out a long gap.
Yeah, 1.4 seconds, the gap between Rob Jenkins and Nate Siepke. Siepke now under pressure from Ron Holyfield now. Holyfield taking a look there to see if he can actually get a run, but Adam Chapman is closing the gap as well now, so don't discount that, man. But I'm pretty sure Siepke brings it down now.
Yep, there's the first one to go. Look for the rest to come next lap. See if my prognosticating skills are what I thought.
Yeah, Paskwich follows him in. The strategy there between the phenomenal drivers. So, Siepke overshoots his stall.
That's going to cost him valuable track position, especially since we're under green flag stops.
Yeah. And Paskwich might actually get out of pit road ahead of him, as Brandon Stokes does put it on the hauler. No, he doesn't. Fair enough. He blinked out. But Siepke's still out ahead of Paskwich. Paskwich a bit longer in his pit stall. But when does this man bring it down?
Yeah, focusing back into the leader, Rob Jenkins, wondering when he's going to bring it to pit lane. He's 35 laps on this stint. Looks like he wants to leg it out as far as he can because he's got that lead and maximize the life of the tires after the money stop.
Absolutely. But we got to keep an eye on Nate Siefka. Remember the big lead he ended up with after the last lot of green flag pit stops. He overshot his pit stall, but only by a couple of inches, so it wasn't get out ahead of Pasky, which he wasn't that much out of his box, so he managed to get it back there immediately. But Siefka, you know, he's a bit of a genius when it comes to green flag pit stop, because somehow he always gets out ahead as Ron Holyfield brings it down pit road now.
Yeah, green flag stops underway. We're going to have the story can't be told, folks, until we get everybody through their pit cycle, leaders and back markers alike, and see where it rolls out in timing and scoring. But don't forget, if the great equalizer comes out, which is a caution flag, if it came out right now, just take what you think is the story and flip the script.
Yeah, Ron Holyfield getting his left side tyres now. As Siefka going to come back around. Is he going to get out ahead of Holyfield? Holyfield is down and away. And here comes Siefka now round the tri-oval and past the yellow Kodak machine. And Siefka has taken away one spot already. So
yeah, he's going to take away a whole bunch of real estate there from Ron Holyfield from those green flag stops.
Oh, yes, it is. Even Pasky's got to jump on him.
Still wondering when our leader, Rob Jenkins, is going to bring it in. 40 laps on those tires. 40 laps on that tank of Go Fast. You got to wonder.
Yeah, and looking at Mark Jenkins there, you see Nate Siefka just walking around the outside of him. That's the difference between the fresh tyres and old tyres, folks.
Yeah, but take a look at our driver in P2, the 83 machine, Adam Chapman, closing the gap on our leader, Rob Jenkins, on the same pit strategy by the looks of it. It's going to be a race off. It's going to be a race to see who gets into pit lane right on that speed limit, who hits their marks perfect, and who gets out without busting that speed limit.
Yeah, let's hope Adam Chapman will have that mistake in the back of his mind, hoping he doesn't make it again.
Yeah, we saw him earlier in the race loop it around, go 2 laps down after after losing time on pit road and serving a penalty on top of it, and working his way back from 2 laps down to now holding down P2 in this race.
Yeah.
That's what you call tenacity. We know a driver, we make fun of him. We call it the Alt F4 Club. I'm not going to mention any names. You all know who I'm talking about. He would have Alt F4'd already after looping it into pit road. But this is where patience and tenacity pays off. 2 laps down to second place.
And Nate Siefka is about to take his lap back off of Rob Jenkins. And that is going to be a worrying sign for Rob Jenkins, because the longer he stays out on that track, that man in the number 2 is going to take back that lead.
Yeah, look for Mark Jenkins to bring it pit side ASAP now that Nate Siefka's got around him and gotten back on the lead lap. Because Nate Siefka's turning laps at his last lap was a 29.7 second lap. Rob Jenkins is doing 32 second laps. That's 3 seconds per lap fall off on those the tire difference. Your average pit stop takes you 40 seconds to get in, get your service, and get out. And Nate's turning laps faster than 40 seconds. Rob Jenkins is in trouble.
Yeah, and Rob Jenkins is being caught by Adam Chapman at the same time, so really not working out for him on this long run. He's got to bring it in soon, and it looks like, no, he's going to stay out again as Pasky goes around the outside.
Yeah, I just don't understand what is going through the leader's mind right now. He's losing ground at a massive 3 seconds plus per lap. He's got to... I just don't get it.
More problems for Mark Jenkins. He's lost positions to Stephen Parks, Hoot Baker, and now Tyrone Harris. Mark Jenkins, those tyres are completely fallen off the cliff, and yet he's decided to stay out as well. So...
I just had a real funny thought here, Sam. We're at a 1.5-mile track. He's got 45 laps on his stint, and he's only got 10 to go to the end of this race. Does he have those 10 in that tank?
No.
Is he saving fuel? Intentionally running slow?
As Rob Jenkins hits the wall coming out of 2. I don't think he has. I think he's got to... He's got to bring it in. Same for Adam Chapman. He's got to bring it in as well.
Is Rob Jenkins trying to Carl Edwards the field? Remember that race at Kansas when Carl Edwards just went 20 miles an hour slower than everyone because he had such a distance on that tank?
Yeah.
Uncontested, Rob Jenkins lets Ron Holyfield by.
Another crucial thing here is that Rob Jenkins is also being caught by Adam Chapman here. So if they are trying to make it to the end, Adam Chapman might have a say in the ending of this race.
And that's going to have to be my ESPN driver of the night, Adam Chapman, from the front to the, from the penthouse to the outhouse, back to the penthouse again.
Yeah. And I got to say, it probably is mine as well. So Adam Chapman doing everything he can. Less than 10 laps to go here.
Well, we do have green attention, green white checker. And if someone steps on their proverbial junk, with like 1 lap to go, this guy's strategy is completely thrown out the window. They're just hoping and praying. No caution.
Chapman's tyres have completely fallen off. He's lost about a second to Rob Jenkins now. The Rob Jenkins, it might be working for him right now, but does he have enough to make it to the end? He's going to have 6 laps to go.
Drama playing out here at Atlanta at Pasky's.
Yeah, absolutely. Nate Seeker still 20 seconds behind the lead, though. And Rob Jenkins, Adam Chapman, Stephen Parks, Hoot Baker, Ty Harris, and Mark Jenkins all trying to make it to the end here.
This is a racing sim, Sam. So fuel is what it's going to be. But if this was real life and he wins this race on this mileage run, I guarantee you NASCAR would have that thing tore apart at the research center the next day.
Yeah, they would. 5 to go here. Can he make it to the end? Rob Jenkins looking for his 2nd win in a row in the Pasky's Cardiac Cup Series.
50 laps out there on that fuel run for Rob Jenkins, man. You got to be wondering, is that thing going to run on fumes?
I know, he's looking for his 2nd win in Pasky's altogether because his last win was in the trucks. Never mind. This will be his 1st win in the Pasky's Cardiac Cup Series. Because Jeff Hollingsworth won the last 2.
Well, Jeff Hollingsworth lucked himself into the last one. And he'll be the first one to admit it, too. And that was all courtesy of our P2 driver, Adam Chapman.
Yeah.
Rob Jenkins, having to bring it pit side, finally found the bottom of that fuel tank.
Yeah, and Adam Chapman is going to stay out. He backed off deliberately to try and make it to the end. And Adam Chapman, with 3 laps to go, has an 8-second lead and made that a 10-second lead over Stephen Parks, who stayed out. Hoot Baker, who'd have thought it? He's up in the top 3, Byron.
Yeah, Hoot Baker. Tyrone Harris on his return back to the league. These guys legging it out. Oh my God, 2 to go.
Yeah.
Can they do it?
More importantly, can Adam do it? He's up into 2 laps to go. The popsicle sticks are out at this point round.
Oh, what a heartbreaker for Rob Jenkins. Probably just ran that just too hard.
Yeah.
Adam Chapman probably noticed that and just backed off his corners. Oh, as we have Bob Lacavara around on the back straight again.
Yeah. Big problems there for Lacavara. Let's go back and see what happened to him. Looped it coming out of pit road and hit the wall hard.
Rough night for Bob Lacavara. And, if, folks, we don't get to talk to him very much. You're going to have to do an on-air interview with him one time, Sam, because that is the nicest gentleman that you ever want to talk to.
Yep, as the white flag is out this time by Adam Chapman, has got to make that fuel last just half a lap now as he comes onto the backstretch. What? Again, driver of the night easily into turn 3. And he's made it count. He's made it last. I wouldn't be surprised if he was spurring at the line but it doesn't matter now as he comes down towards the line and wins at Atlanta.
Oh my God, 53 laps, he stretched that one out. Man, he knew a little something more than than anybody else. Take a look at your top three tonight, folks. Adam Chapman, Stephen Parks, and sitting on the podium, Hoot Baker.
Absolutely, and what a race. We have seen only 3 cautions here at Atlanta. Probably one of the best races.
You know, Nate Seeker, after he brought it pit side, was thinking, I got this, because everyone's going to have to pit. He is never going to live this down, and Hoot's never going to let him live this down. Hoot beat Nate Seeker in a flat-out, they were racing.
And Adam Chapman is out of fuel.
Well, you know what? Adam Chapman, no burnout for Adam Chapman at Victory Lane. Looks like Kevin Pasky is pushing him around there to stop to get the picture with a congratulatory bump. There's your winner, folks, Adam Chapman.
Absolutely. So we are going to go to interviews in just a second, but before we do that, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break as we hear some words from our sponsors. Oh my God.
Boy, these iRacing iFlag cars are fast tonight.
You know, Todd, I guarantee you, Brown, Leonardi, Weaver, Capert, and Pena are all using their products from their sponsor tonight to give them the upper hand over the competition.
Well, how can I get fast like those guys?
Well, that's easy, Todd. You gotta head over to iRacingIFlag.com.
Welcome back to Atlanta, and as you can see on your screen, that is Adam Chapman, and we are going to reach out to him right now as he is going to be joining me right now, and probably the happiest man in the world right now. Only your second start in this league, and on fuel strategy, you bring home the race win. You've got to be happy with that one, Adam.
Well, I've never had a field win before.
You have now.
Yeah, I have now. To say my heart was beating out of my chest, probably an understatement. Yeah, there was luck, but I still think we had a really fast car. I don't know if it was a winning car until now, but I'm very happy.
Yeah, I mean, you played that strategy to a dream. I mean, it was you and 2 other drivers that actually made it to the end there on fuel strategy. Talk us through that. You must have been on absolute tenterhooks for those last few laps there when you took the lead.
Well, to be honest, I didn't think I thought I was going to finish second. I thought it was maybe Rob, I believe. I can't remember who.
It was Rob.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was him. I thought he was going to be the one that won it, which I was fine with. I was fine with second place because I had so much trouble on pit road and I spun out, had a 15-second holding penalty. But then I seen that when he pitted, I had a 10-second gap behind me. And that allowed just more saving. And, I mean, that's why, you know, he was already on the 6 seconds or whatever. I mean, I was even saving on some of the straightaways. So, yeah, I didn't really I was working 2 buttons the entire time, and that was the fuel mileage thing and then the relative. But we kind of got a little lucky because the restart, the way the caution was, pit road open early for me, but I actually pitted on a second go around to come in. So it was more luck and just the way it fell, to be honest. But I'll definitely take it.
Absolutely.
Take him any way you can get him, man. I'm still looking for my first Pasky victory. But
Yeah.
congratulations on that hell of a fuel run, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't know what to say. Like I was fist pumping. I don't think I've been that excited on iRacing in a long time.
Yeah.
Well, glad it happened here.
But anyway, Adam. Nice though, because first green flag pit stops, you try and slow down for the line, you loop it, you cross the white line. You must have thought your race was over at that point.
Yeah, I thought I was done. I mean, I don't know who ran into me early. Somebody came up the track and ran into me, and I had to put damage. So I really didn't want to pit when I did, and when I did, the tires was just so bad, which we kind of expected anyway, because Atlanta is the tire shredder. So as soon as I started pushing the brake pedal, I didn't want to check up too much because Kevin was behind me, and it just completely went around. And I was like, well, I'll be satisfied with top 5, top 7, something like that. But it worked out.
Well, I got to inform you, you're our ESPN cohort here. You're driver in Paskies, and it's a unanimous decision from the guys in the booth. We watched you go from the penthouse. We watched you loop it on pit lane, get the penalty on top of it, go 2 laps down, work your way back from the penthouse to the outhouse up to the penthouse with a race win. You're also the ESPN driver of the night, my friend.
That's awesome, man. I know that's an honor. That gave me chills. I'm gonna be honest. I know y'all do this, and I know y'all have done it for a while. I mean, I've been in the booth with ESPN for a while too, and to hear that come out, it's a lot different when you're on this side.
Absolutely.
Well, take it, cherish it, and love it because you earned it.
Yeah, absolutely. But looking ahead to next week, we head to California and our first road course of the season, Sonoma. What are your thoughts going to that one? I know you're pretty capable on those road courses.
Hopefully I'll get to broadcast that one. I know we got another broadcast on ESPN, I believe, before this one.
Yeah.
If I do make it, I expect a good finish. I love road courses. I don't know if I'll win it. Sonoma's probably my favorite just because how technical it is. It's not a fast track. But it's going to be unique, man. I mean, anything can happen, that's for sure, especially with this new package.
Yeah, well, your ESPN cohort's going to throw down the ESPN challenge because I'm going to run that, and if you're in that, you ain't going to win it because I'm on it.
You'll probably wind up beating me. I'm not going to lie, but I'll take it. It's all right.
But
that's my home track. I love that track.
You got to win it.
Absolutely. But anyway, Adam, congratulations on the win tonight. Very well deserved. But is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to for tonight's victory?
Yeah, we got to shout out, first off, you guys for broadcasting. That's the first thing, and Kevin for allowing me to join the league. And then, of course, Overtake Motorsports, been with them for 4 years now, co-owner of that, and all my guys back there. And then got to thank Todd's Lawn Care and Snow Removal for the sponsor on the side of the car. If you're up in Wisconsin, check him out and tell him I sent you. So, yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, Adam. Well, congratulations one more time. And hopefully, if you're not up in the booth, we'll see you next week at Sonoma.
Yeah, and I apologize. That was Michigan, not Wisconsin. And yes, I do appreciate that. Hopefully, I will be here, but you never know.
Wrong side of the lake, pal.
Yeah, right. I'll get it right sometime. He'll kill me for butchering it. So.
All right, Adam. Have a good night and go and celebrate your win, dude.
Thank you, buddy.
So that was Adam Chapman. We're going to go and reach out to our second place finisher, Mr. Stephen Parks. And Byron, I believe you're with him right now.
Yeah, Mr. Stephen Parks, Byron Rodney up here at the booth. But sorry, I couldn't race this with you tonight. I had a family obligation, but I jumped in, helped the broadcast, and watch you fuel strategy yourself right into P2, man. Talk to us about that.
Well, first of all, man, you need to get in the booth more because I keep getting in the podium when you're in here.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It ain't gonna happen next week. We're running Sonoma, and I got a little something for y'all there.
But yeah, race wise, I didn't really have the speed for these guys, and then I really noticed near the end of or about 30 to go, I was sitting there with Hoot, and I'm sitting there going, dude, just clutch it and save the last 30 laps. We'll beat these guys. They can't get around us to the if they pit. So, man, what a strategy, and man, it worked out.
Well, I can't wait to talk to the third place finisher, Hoot, because you know what? I don't think he's ever going to let Nate Seeker live it down that Nate lost to Hoot on a race where there was no wrecks, no damage. Those guys finished clean.
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty ecstatic. I was pretty ecstatic. I mean, I don't think I've got anything next week at Sonoma, but man, it was great to be back up here again.
None of y'all got something for Sonoma. That's my track, Dan. Yeah, watch. I've been bragging about it. I better show a good showing there.
You better, yeah. I'll be in the booth, remember?
Yeah, and you know what? If I goof up, he'll call it out. Trust me.
Yeah, well.
But congratulations on that run, Steven. I mean, you ran 53 laps on fuel. We didn't think anyone had. We thought you guys were sitting ducks when Nate went in and pitted on that short pit. But you guys clutched it. Put on a clinic on how to stretch a tank of fuel. We talked about in the broadcast. This is a sim, and fuel mileage is fuel mileage. You can do what you can to save it. But if this was real life, I guarantee you, your car would be in the white hauler right now, getting taken to the research center and tore down to wonder how in the hell you did that.
Yeah, I'll give all thanks to Joel Real Timing, JRT. I've got a monitor hooked up with a dash for it, and so I was getting fuel numbers throughout the whole entire race, and I saw I was about 1 gallon short when we went to that last restart. And like I said, we got to about 30 to go, and I was like, hey, we can do this. Just clutch it in the corner, coast it through, and we'll make it.
Yeah, well, I got another little tool for you to use, and that'd be iFlag. Try their fuel calculator and see how you like it.
Steven's trying his own system. I've seen his setup. He's got his own system, so he's okay.
Yeah, I've got Philip Hughes lights hooked up, so every time the caution comes out, I've got like airplane lights going off everywhere.
Caution comes out and your lights light up and your room looks like the outside of Michael Whitaker's truck.
Yeah, basically.
Well, congratulations on the podium finish, man. That's going to pop you up in the points pretty darn hard. So I look forward to racing with you in Sonoma next week.
Yeah, I was only 5 points down, and I was in 4th. So it'll be interesting to see how things shake out here now when the points go up. But hey, shout out to Turn 4 Motorsports. Those guys have definitely helped me a lot through the years of getting better on the track. And, man, it's all coming together this year.
Oh, congratulations on that P2, man. You earned it.
Thanks.
That was Stephen Parks joining us in the booth. Byron, I'm going to give you the pleasure of this one because I know you're going to be eager to speak to him. So joining Byron in the booth now is the man that shocked the world and came home in 3rd place. That would be the man known as Hoot Baker.
And I am so glad that I was able to get home. I wasn't able to start the race, but jump in the booth with Sam and broadcast this and watch the 82 Hootmobile just come rolling in on a P3, hit the podium, Hoot. Congratulations, my friend. You earned that one.
Well, hey, every dog has his day, right?
Yeah. They say a blind squirrel even finds a nut every now and then, but you know what? Me and Sam were talking about during the broadcast. We watched Nate do the short pit, and we watched him gain so much time on the leaders, and he looked like he was going to come back and grab the lead the hard way, but it stayed green. You guys stayed out on fuel, and you got to be honest, man, with me on this one. Are you ever going to let Nate live it down that you beat him in Atlanta?
Oh, I don't know, man. That's, like I said, I was, Steven, was up there and had the fuel strategy and all. And, early on, I was just cycling pits, doing what I do and slowly moving. And once we got down into that fuel strategy, he was the one, I couldn't really see my fuel. I got to work on my app up there. So I just said, I hope I got enough. And, he just walked me through it and I just followed him. And we had, I think Tyrone coming up there behind us, but he never really had anything for us. And of course, Nate was behind him. So, it just worked out. And when I parked it, I had 0.2 in the tank. So, just that's the way it goes.
Yeah, well, something we got to tell you, we noticed this and called it out on the broadcast, man. You just didn't get a good finish on fuel mileage. You had a machine that was flying around Atlanta for a while. You were a very competitive car. We watched you coming up through that field, working a little bit of different strategy than the rest of the guys, and I was keeping my eye on you because I knew you were going to pull a good finish.
Yeah, and actually I got a couple breaks tonight because I actually had that opportunity. I got around and I saw I could get around and at least lead a lap and get 5 points for that. And it also came out just like Steve did with zero damage. So that's another 5 points.
Yeah, well, hey, you got a great night. You made a great points tonight. You're moving up in that deal. We got Sonoma next week, my friend. What are you thinking there?
You would probably never see my car on the broadcast. Yeah, unless it's in the wall. It won't look pretty at the end. I can guarantee you that.
Well, I look forward to it. I'm just sending a little message to someone I'm going to drag into the booth here because he deserves to have his chain yanked a little bit tonight. And that's going to be the guy that you beat, the guy that knew he had the race won and knew it was just going to fall his way. And you guys ran it out 53 laps on fuel.
I'm going to bring him up right now, actually.
Yeah, please do.
I know. Now he's in the booth with us now. Nate Siefka. Fuel strategy not paying off there, finishing in P4, but difficult end to the race for yourself there.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna go a different way, but I mean, it was definitely one of those things where I had faith that everyone was gonna run out, and about 5 to go, I was like, nobody's running out, are they? I put about 9 liters in because I run that crew chief app, and I thought I couldn't make it. I didn't think anyone else could really save that much, but they all did, unfortunately, which sucks. But that's how it kind of goes. I'm glad I got P4 right at the line. I have almost got. If I had about half a lap more, I would have had P2. But that's how this goes. Adam, he did a fantastic job with his fuel mileage, and nobody else. He didn't blink, which is good for him. So glad to see him get his first win.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the Nate Siefker review of the race, and you'll be able to see it again probably tomorrow morning on the Siefker Stories live on Facebook as he's headed into work, as he usually does after a good race. But now let me translate that for you. Yes, you did have one run out of fuel, and that was your race leader, Rob Jenkins, and that was a heartbreaker for him. Adam Chapman, we saw him backpedal in that car, even on the straightaways, to stretch that fuel. And folks, let me translate what Nate Siefker just said. Hey, I knew I had the race won. I was getting that time, man. I passed the leader up. I got my lap back the hard way. No one's going to be able to make it. I got this in the bag. Yeah, Hoot Baker beat Nate Siefker tonight on an honest run.
Well, I mean, good for Hoot. He earned it. He earned it. He really did. I mean, I'm not going to take away anything from Hoot. He definitely earned his podium. But
we had enough lap traffic going on there that like Steven said, we actually started throttling back a little bit about lap 30 and started thinking fuel, and just waiting on you guys to do it.
So I really debated on, saving, and from what KP and I were gathering from our data was that we were going to have to really backpedal it, because in the middle of the run, KP actually started trying to backpedal, trying to see if it was possible, and he didn't think it was possible. So that's why we went ahead and did the pit stop at that middle part of that run. And I mean, considering I was 8 seconds behind the leader when I came out of pit road plus some, and finished 9 seconds behind, making up a lap, it was a viable strategy option. It just didn't quite pan out. If I had had one more lap, I would have definitely had him, but that's just how this goes.
Well, the story of the night is Nate Siefker loses to Hoot Baker, and we want to know what the story for next week's going to be when Nate Siefker loses to Byron Rodney at Sonoma.
Well, so what weekend is Spa? Isn't that this Friday, or what are we doing for that?
We are doing our Pasky's League is going to be at Sonoma Friday night, and Team ESPN, we were talking about during the broadcast, we're running Spa on Saturday the next day, 24-hour.
Okay, so I mean, I will definitely not lose to you because we know that you're not a road ringer.
This is Sonoma, my friend. I got a little something for you.
So, Byron, do you know how fast I was at walking the Come on, buddy. Come on. Let's not live in a fantasy world.
Yeah, but you ran out of fuel on the last lap.
I want you to tell us
fuel mileage, Sam. Let's go with that.
We fired you as a crew chief a long time ago, if you remember right. But
I'm closed every time, aren't I?
Yeah, and that accounts always in horseshoes and hand grenades. Your calculator's broke. But anyway, you cannot compare Sonoma to Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen is a high-speed sweeping corner course. Sonoma is a way different animal.
I drive on eggshells all the time. What are you talking about? I am the smoothest. I am just precise.
Have you seen him on a road course in Top Fuel?
Yeah, I have actually. I broadcast him on a road course in Top Fuel, so he knows I'm talking smack to him. He knows he's gonna womp on the field. But you know what? it's going to be a bad 2 weeks, and he ain't never going to live it down if I wind up finishing ahead of him at Sonoma.
If you finish ahead of me at Sonoma, I'm gonna do something, and I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but it's gonna be
Shave
something.
your head.
No, I love my hair too much. I can't do that.
Sell your BMW.
No, no to that one too. I'll do something very embarrassing if Byron beats me, but that's not gonna happen.
You have to do a Sivka story, in a dress.
I could probably do that. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay, well, I smell 7 days of Sonoma practice for Byron Rodney. I smell VRS racing one-on-one tutors being worked on for Byron Rodney. And hell, I may even call up the Sam Sills to see if I can get a little advantage.
You know, coaches are all good and all, but then you got to put it to action, and I think we'll know how that works out, Byron.
Well,
yeah, we'll see next week in Sonoma, because the last time we raced Sonoma, I took my first league wing here at Pasky's.
Well, I'll take my first road course league win here at Pasky.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. The gauntlet has been thrown down. If Snake Cisco loses to Byron Rodney, he has to do a Sivka story.
We're teammates, so we got to bust each other's balls a bit, and we're going to be teammates at Spa, so we really got to support each other on road course racing.
But
I'm going to learn from a master.
But the stipulation is this: if Nate Sivka loses to you, he's got to do the next Sivka story wearing his girlfriend's dress.
Do you realize that statement? Do you realize the bounty that statement just put on him for every other driver at that Sonoma race to do their best to help make that happen?
It does not include it. There's a stipulation that if I get taken out by a driver with malicious intent, it doesn't count.
It's got to be a legitimate defeat.
Exactly.
But anyway,
legitimate defeat is getting taken out too.
So that's your thoughts going into Sonoma. Nate, anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I think I want to thank my beautiful girlfriend for. Now she's asleep, but I'm hopefully not giving me a dress to wear, but I don't think that's possible. I don't think she has a dress at my apartment right now, so she better not get one because it's not gonna be necessary. Gotta think on my.
If this should come to pass, I will make the drive to Iowa myself and take you shopping.
Oh man, there's a bridal shop place across the street for me, so that would work.
I would spend the money for it.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I gotta thank my girlfriend, all my teammates, KP here in Pasky's, and then all my other teammates, NLR, Gnome Racing, and all my other leagues that I do. So I mean, and then my sponsors, Z1 Software. It's not my sponsor, but it's my team software. We'll go with that. I'll just call my sponsor anyway. So thanks to them with their software program, and stuff like that. So and iFlag, I used my first with their promotion at ESPN. I used the promo code that we got. My first league race with it, and it did a pretty handy thing. Pretty handy. A lot of cool tools you can actually do with it that some people don't really know about it. So go check them out for sure.
Esports 2019. That is the promo code if you want 15% off your own iFlag. Thank you, Nate, for a good race there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for you, but good show for yourself. Joining us in the booth as well now is league owner and teammate Nate Sivka, Mr. Kevin Paskwich. Kevin, again, for yourself, fuel strategy not working out, but you're still going to be happy with the top 10, right? Oh.
I think he's in here.
Is here somewhere. Oh, no, he's probably stepped away, but yeah, definitely a good race for KP, but Byron, we're going to try and drag this out in case KP does come back, but what are your thoughts on the race?
So my thoughts on a race where I was expecting to come in the booth to help you out because it was going to be a caution fest and you were going to be pulling your hair out trying to find things to talk about through all the slow pace laps. But I was not mildly surprised. I was proud of this league and the drivers in it when I came in here and I found 19 cars on the track and we ran that few cautions. And how often do you see green flag stops in iRacing at Atlanta? These guys put on a hell of a show. They had a hell of a race. We had drama play out had me on the edge of my seat. I can't be any more prouder than this. I invite people, if you want to have fun, be competitive, and you're not just a total, I'm going to say it, asshat, apply to us at Pasky's. You don't got to apply. Get a hold of me, get a hold of Kevin, get a hold of Nate, any of the admin on Facebook or on iRacing, and come race with us on a Friday night. It's a lot of fun. If you people out there are watching this on broadcast and are thinking, man, this is kind of cool, look, it doesn't take that much and you can do it too. We'll take you under our wing and bring you up to speed the best we can with your talents as well. So, Sam, I'm blown away, man. This was one hell of a show in Atlanta.
It absolutely was. And with that, let's go through our results before we go anywhere. And a surprise win here tonight. Adam Chapman in only his second race here in the Pasky's series. It's only his second race in this Pasky series, bringing home the win here in the 83 Chevrolet. Stephen Parks and Hoot Baker also working the fuel strategy. They come home second and third. Nate Siefka grabbing fourth place, and Tyrone Harris on his return to the series, rounding out your top five. Kevin Paskwich comes home in sixth. Seventh is Ron Holyfield. Eighth, Rob Jenkins, after running out of fuel, unfortunately. Ninth and one lap down was Mark Jenkins. And rounding out your top 10, after starting near the back of the field, was Rick Christensen. Byron, do you want to call out the rest? Byron?
Yeah, I'm right here. Sorry. Coming home in the 11th spot, the 61 machine of Charlie Woods, Johnny Antonucci in 12. Bob Lacavara, man, hard luck night for him. We saw him, a few things happen to him, just wasn't his night. Wasn't his fault either. Coming home 13th. Robert Dudley, connection problems, still managing to bring it home ahead of others on the field in the 14th spot. Brandon Stokes, man, what a heartbreaker that was. Not being able to close it out. Had a strong run at the mid stages of the race, just couldn't close it out, coming home in 15th. James McDavid on his return back to the league, 16th. So, you know what? Hats off to him. I look for him to do better next time around. Michael Atkins Jr. in a heartbreak. Jordan Berry parking it early in 18th. And rounding out shotgun on the field in 19th, John Woodruff.
John Woodruff not taking the green in this race, unfortunately. But that is your result here for tonight's race, and that is going to do it for us here in the Pasky's Cardiac Cup Series. Looking ahead on the schedule, tomorrow night we have NASCAR Online live from Kentucky. Byron, you have a few words for that one?
Yeah, it's going to be an epic one at Kentucky, and there's a little bit of a scheduled broadcast change. Adam Chapman's going to be bringing you that race tomorrow because I have a family function I can't get out of. I have to attend.
Okay.
If people understand that. So Adam's going to be bringing you that race, and I'll swap that week 1 week with Adam and take August 14th and on another league that ESPN covers, Top Fuel Racing. But tune in tomorrow. NASCAR, they run the K&N series, Chevrolet power plant, Chevrolet chassis, open setups. We talk about them in every race. We covered spring rates and adjustments they had there, but we just cover everything in that open setup. We were going to talk about Castor and Cameron the next time around, and sorry about that, someone poked me and took my attention away. But check it out. NASCAR Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN. They put on one hell of a show.
Absolutely. And then Sunday night, we follow that up with live coverage from Daytona with the trucks from Sim Racing Authority. The first round of that series will be broadcast live for the first time on ESPN, so make sure you tune in for that one. Then Monday, we are back with Pasky's and the Truck Series as they take their turn on the HOTlanta track. And I know, judging from this race, that one is going to be a barn burner too, so make sure you tune in for that one. Tuesday, we're taking the night off, and then Wednesday, we are back with Top Fuel Racing as they go to Auto Club in their Summer Light Series. And that is going to be one hell of a show, so make sure you tune in for that one. And then I believe on Thursday, we have the special race from Sim Racers for Mental Health, so make sure you tune in for that one. And then Friday, we are back here again with the Pasky's Cardiac Cup Series at Sonoma, so make sure you tune in for that one. That is looking forward to the next week. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett. Joining me in the booth was Byron Rodney. All that's left for me to say, keep it green, and we will see you tomorrow night live from Kentucky with NASCAR Online.
That was good. You back yet, TP? Guess not.